Hey guys, so today we're going to go over Legends. So this is obviously a very old and special set. It's one of the first sets of Magic the Gathering. It came out in 1994. It's one of the earliest expansions after Arabian Nights, Antiquities came Legends, and then the Dark. This is the first set that had multicolor cards. And I'm very happy to go through and over some of it with you because it's been a while for me as well. Divine Intervention, I remember, or actually is, a lot of them are kind of climbing in value and others remain cheap because it's a very large set. They didn't even have the collector number, so back then it was just alphabetical, or you had to follow the magazines in order to know what you had, what you were missing, and whatnot. This set I completed, I believe, in 2017. I traded a lot of cards at Frank & Sons with some really cool, with a cool seller that I go to all the time over there. And traded a stack of modern cards for my Tabernacle, and probably was still short. I took a picture of that. It's actually me holding the stack of cards again. I did that a few times in life, where I would trade large amounts of new stuff for very expensive old things, because otherwise it's just a lot of money that you'd have to put on the side for something like that. Land tax, reprinted many times and still expensive. So I have two of them, one in very average condition. Ooh, that's pretty rough. And one that's pretty clean. Yeah, very clean. This one's great. Yep. So I usually try to get as clean a set as possible. I think the image is a little bit better because I'm filming later in the day today to show this with you, to avoid glare. I hope it translates okay on camera. So keep on trying new things. Moat is also iconic. Non-flying creatures can attack. It's a good way to defend yourself, as not that many decks just run flyers. Petra Sphinx, I think, also went up recently. Presence of the Master. Anything you see on this side is where I have, extras and doubles. And this is in my earlier days of set collecting, because I would leave, once I finished a color, I would leave empty space and then start a new color again here. Azure Drake. I really just, how much has the art changed? You compare this to stuff that came out just now with March of the Machines, or even anything in the last 10 years, and there is nothing in common. Some of the artists remained, but the art changed so much, and just seeing it brings back, I'm sure, a lot of memories for many of us that either played in the early games or went over collecting, cards later on, where we can see all the contrasts. Invoke Prejudice is another expensive card from Legends, and it's banned because the artist, Harold McNeil, is a white supremacist, racist guy. So we obviously don't want that, and I think he only did he did a couple, maybe 2 or 3 cards for Magic the Gathering, and they're very, I don't know, I guess not safe for work. But it's a controversial card in the set, therefore it holds a lot of value. I'd love to know your opinion on banned cards. Whether some are okay to be banned, or if some it's just too woke or whatever. Mana Drain, reprinted several times, but this is the first time we see it. Still nice, beautiful, and special. Here we have, oh wait, looks like there's something with the camera here. Forgive me. All right, we're back to it. Great. Oops. Is this clear? I hope so. Yes, great. All right, on to the next. Silhouette, look at this art, come on. This is not super cartoon-like and fun. I had a great time completing these old sets, and it was a very long process, especially with these larger ones, because there's so many cards and so many of them hold a high value that you have to do it over years. I mean, you don't have to if you have the capital, but for a lot of us, it often takes a very long time to get them, and you have to haggle, and you have to go through auctions, All Hallows Eve, Chains, Darkness. A lot of these cards went through a lot of ups and downs. All Hallows Eve is spikes up every Halloween for obvious reasons. Headless Horseman, I believe this one did as well. Hellfire, Greed. It's such a large set. This may be a slightly longer video, I'm assuming, because it's such a big set and it's so special and expensive, and putting something together like this is not that common. So I don't want to be in a rush walking you through all of the set. Another Void, another one of the epic cards in black, that's right here. All spell cast are countered unless their casters paid an additional 3. That's in Hell's Caretaker. These are really iconic cards that are obviously on the reserve list, and Untouched the Abyss. I'm not sure what it's worth now, but probably $1,200 or $1,300. Pretty clean. I would say this is a nice LP. I did my best to get the best condition that I could for these sets. How do you guys collect, by the way, regarding like when it's older sets like this? Do you rather take an extra 3, 4, 5 months and save up to get something in a much better condition, go for the pristine near mint, or are you more of a trying to stay along the lines of a moderately played stuff, which, you know, or you don't care, and even if it's damaged, as long as it's a card, fits in the binder, looks good enough. Everyone has their own way of doing it, as I did a little video like that. Underworld Dreams, Wall of Shadows. Look at this art. I know I rewatch some of my videos and I see that I've been very repetitive, but I'm still very I'm happily surprised every time I go through them. I get memories of, oh, I remember when I purchased this one. I remember hunting for this card. I remember putting the set together this way. And then others, I'm just like, wow, what is this? What am I looking at? Falling Star, important card in red. I don't know why, I've never even read it, so let's go through it. Flip star onto the playing area from a height of at least 1 foot. Star must turn at least 360 degrees or it has no effect. When Falling Star lands, Falling Star does 3 damage to each creature that it touches. Any creature damaged by Falling Star that are not destroyed become tapped. Okay, so Falling Star is very similar to Chaos Orb, where you would kind of flip it. This one would be up, you'd have to make it turn. That's kind of the mechanics that we had early in the game of Magic, where you had ante, you had to do certain things that were more kind of interactive play. And I understand how it's not very useful in today's competitive format or all of that stuff that you know, it's big money Magic now for tournaments and whatnot, but kitchen play, these things are hilarious and an absolute blast, I'm sure. Crimson Kobolds, obviously. Kobolds, and Kobolds. Kobold Overlord, Drill Surgeon, Taskmaster, they're everywhere. These are epic and wonderful cards. Oh, I can't wait till we get to the Legends part where we can see the first time they ever did multicolor for Magic the Gathering. And those bring up a lot of memories, because I remember when I was maybe 10 years old, so in the year 2000, I bought, well, my father bought for Christmas a long box of old cards from like a garage sale, and in them were a lot of legends from Legends, including the five dragons, which we'll go over very soon. Concordant Crossroad, beautiful, important card in green, very playable and reprinted. Eureka, of course. E equals MC squared. These are beautiful cards, and I loved putting all of this together. I had someone ask me if I was interested in selling them ever, really, and 5 or 6 years ago, I put an auction together where I was like, if I'm ever going to sell them, I want to sell every one of them together. Because I don't, Sylvan Library, because I don't want to have any left, because then I'm just going to miss it too much. I'd rather just have it all be gone at once, if ever that was to be, and then, you know, use that money to better my life and through X or Y way, buying a place, investing in something else. And here we go. This is the first time they ever did multicolors, and a few of these I've had since the year 2000. Arcady Sabbath, Chromium, and we're going to get to a lot of the others. Gabriel Archangel, Angel Fire is one of the first cards that I had, actually. I remember that one. I know it's not as expensive as a lot of the other ones in here, but Gwendolyn, who is apparently a very powerful commander. And Dakin, of course, which was all the hype for Modern Horizons 2, where he was reprinted as a Planeswalker with a lot of other characters, and you get to learn more about the lore, and I really enjoy that. I like when we come back to these places, we learn a little bit more, and we get more information. What are the characters that you would like to learn more about, where you find the lore to be, you know, insufficient, or worlds you'd like to explore further? Nicol Bolas, Palladium Morse, and then we're going to get to Ve Victus. I believe he's the last one. Nebuchadnezzar. Roga of Kerkeep, he's the Kobold Daddy. And Rasputin Dreamweaver. I think I purchased or traded this one and got an Italian. I got 2 or 3 Italian copies before I realized that they were in Italian, because the name was the same. So I got duped in that way a couple of times. So maybe if you're trying to collect Legends, remember that there's also an Italian version. And if you don't pay attention, you may end up with the wrong version of the card that you want. Ve Victus Asmati, here we go. Alabaris Carpet. And now we enter the artifacts. Did you guys play with these? You know, a lot of these I just went through the list. I'm not sure. I would go on the Wizards card gallery. I just type Legends full card list, and then I would cross off what I had or not, and then write in a piece of paper what I needed, and then the price on 3 or 4 different websites, and then I would see where it was cheaper, and I would try and track that for a little bit before pulling the trigger on a card. Mirror Universe is another important, beautiful card, where you would play, I think, a mini game within the mini game, so that would mean that, you know, games could just last forever. And so I think that was changed. All right, and we are done with the artifacts, and we enter the lands where we're going to see everyone, or a lot of people's favorite card, the beautiful Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. So yeah, this is the card I traded a hefty stack of cards for. Let's go over it. Yeah, when it's very, very valuable, I try and double sleeve it. And this is my beautiful Tabernacle, I would say, also in light play. And it says that all creatures now require an upkeep cost of 1 in addition to any other upkeep cost they may have. If the upkeep cost for the creature is not paid, the creature is destroyed. So these are some big cards that force you to pay attention to your board state and your mana. And it's the most expensive card in Legends, and will probably remain so for a very long time. And there we go. This is my Legends set. I'm very happy that I got to share it with you. Little bonus information, which I was asked many times, like, why do I use these D-ring binders or not other ways of storage? How do you prevent damage being done to the cards when you want to keep them like this? I just put 2 empty sleeves, 9-pocket sleeves at the back and at the front. And I've done so for a while, and as you can see, these cards are not warped in the slightest. And I've had them for many years at this point. So it's a little trick. 2 sleeves in the front, 2 sleeves in the back, and you'll most likely be safe of damage. There we go. So thank you so much for being with me today and going over Legends, which is really important, and I hope you have a great night.